Don't buy the Sony XAV-AX5000. That's the video. Seriously, if you're looking at this sleek, 6.95-inch touchscreen head unit, you absolutely need to hear these problems first. I'm going to save you from a costly, frustrating install, but here's what surprised me. This is one of Sony's most popular and highest-rated receivers. It sits at a beautiful 4.5 stars. That's the confusing part. Therefore, we need to dig into the ugly truth behind that shiny bezel-less display. For the best price, if you still want it, click the link in the description. Now, picture this. You've just dropped a few $100. You're installing this modern marvel into your dashboard. The flush screen looks incredible, like it belongs in a new car. You plug in your iPhone and bam, Apple CarPlay lights up. Directions, messages, your playlists, all controlled by voice or a simple tap. It promises safety and focus. It even has Android Auto for the other team. Dual USB ports, check. Quick access keys, check. On paper, it's a home run. But what if I told you this device has a secret flaw that could leave you stranded with a dead battery? A design quirk so odd, Sony had to put a warning in the manual. That's our first big problem. Stay with me. We'll get to that nightmare in a moment. First, let's talk about why you're even here. You want a clean upgrade. Your factory stereo is ancient. You crave that seamless smartphone integration. The Sony brand promises quality. And visually, the XAV-AX5000 delivers. The 500 seed M2 brightness means it's readable even in direct sunlight. The 600:1 contrast ratio makes maps pop. The physical buttons along the bottom are a godsend when you're driving, giving you quick access to volume and home without fumbling on a touchscreen. It feels premium. Therefore, you're already halfway to clicking Add to Cart, right? Hold on. Let's rewind. I installed this unit. I used it for 2 months, and I started noticing things. Little annoyances that snowballed into genuine deal breakers. This isn't a hate video. This is an intervention. Alright, let's dive into problem 1, the battery vampire. This is the big one. Buried in the product description, almost like a quiet confession, is this line. Do not install this unit in a car that has no ACC position. The display of the unit does not turn off even after turning the ignition off, and this causes battery drain. Let me translate that from engineer speak. Most cars have an accessory ACC position on the ignition switch. You turn the key one click to power the radio without the engine. This unit needs that signal to know when the car is off. If your car doesn't have a clear, separate ACC wire, or if your installer taps into the wrong constant power source, the screen stays on forever. Imagine coming back to your car after a weekend trip to a screen that's been glowing for 48 hours straight. Your battery isn't just drained, it's deceased. It's gone to the great junkyard in the sky. That's a problem you can't ignore unless you enjoy the company of tow truck drivers. But wait, it gets better. Problem 2, the touchscreen tantrum. This flush panel is gorgeous, until you try to use it while driving. The screen responsiveness, especially in CarPlay and Android Auto, can be laggy. It's not a deal breaker, but it's frustrating. You tap a song, nothing. You tap it again, and suddenly you've skipped 2 tracks. It's like the screen is thinking really hard about its life choices. And in the summer heat, forget it. The unit can get warm and the lag seems to increase. It's not a smooth, iPhone-like experience. It's more like convincing a stubborn toddler to put on their shoes. You have to be precise, patient, and sometimes just accept defeat and use the voice control. Speaking of which, therefore, we arrive at problem 3. The price of admission. Look at the specs. No built-in navigation. No CD player, which is fine, it's 2024. But also no HD radio tuner. For a unit in this price bracket, that's a noticeable omission. You're paying a premium for the Sony name and that sleek design, but the core feature set is bare bones. It's a glorified smartphone projector. If your phone service drops, you're back to basic FM, AM radio, which sounds okay. It's like buying a beautiful, high-end frame for a poster you printed at home. The frame is Sony, the poster is your phone. But here's the twist. The top reviews on Amazon love it. They rave about the sound quality, which, to be fair, is excellent. The audio level adjustment is granular. You can fine-tune it from -8 dB to +18 dB. If you have a good set of speakers, this unit will make them sing. People also love the physical volume knob, a rarity nowadays. So what's the deal? Therefore, the real review isn't about good versus bad. It's about fit. This unit is fantastic. For the right car with the right wiring. It's a nightmare for the wrong one. It's the automotive equivalent of a diva. It needs specific conditions to perform. Let's lighten the mood with a joke. Why did the car stereo break up with the GPS? It said, "You're always telling me where to go." Okay, back to business. Problem 4. The USB shuffle. Dual USB ports sound great. One for your phone for CarPlay, one for a flash drive with music. In theory, it's perfect. In practice, the unit can be picky about which USB cable you use. Some reviewers found only one port would work reliably for CarPlay. The other might just charge. It's a lottery, and the ports are on the back of the unit. That means once it's installed, you're committed to your cable routing. No easy swaps. It feels like a design from 5 years ago. Modern units are starting to offer front-facing USB-C ports for a reason. But maybe you're thinking, I can live with these quirks. The screen is big and bright. And you're right. For some, the pros outweigh the cons. The quick-access key panel is genuinely useful. SiriusXM Ready is a nice bonus for satellite radio fans. The menu system is clean and simple when you're not using smartphone projection. Therefore, let's get to the ultimate resolution. Who should actually buy the Sony XAV-AX5000? First, your car must have a proper, dedicated ACC wire. Consult a professional installer. Do not attempt this yourself if you're not 100% certain. Second, you need to value that minimalist, OEM-looking design above cutting-edge speed or features. Third, you primarily use CarPlay or Android Auto and are okay with their limitations being your head unit's limitations. And who should run away? Anyone with an older car with vague wiring. Anyone who wants built-in navigation as a backup. Anyone who gets easily annoyed by tech lag. And anyone on a tight budget, because the installation costs to avoid the battery drain issue could surprise you. Time for joke number 2. What's a car stereo's favorite type of music? Rap. Because it always has to deal with wires. Let's be clear, this isn't a bad product, it's a flawed one. A 4.5-star rating with these potential issues tells you that for the people it works brilliantly. For the others, it's a 1-star nightmare. You're basically rolling the dice. But what are the alternatives? That's the key question. Brands like Pioneer, Kenwood, and JVC offer units in the same price range with similar screens, but often include features like wireless CarPlay, HD radio, or more responsive touchscreens. They might not look as seamlessly integrated, but they often play nicer with a wider variety of cars. You're trading aesthetics for compatibility. Therefore, my final verdict is this. The Sony XAV-AX5000 is a beautiful specialist, not a reliable generalist. It's for the enthusiast who has the perfect environment for it. Joke 3. Why did the smartphone get a ticket in the car? It was caught texting and driving through the head unit. Before we wrap up, let's do a rapid-fire recap. Pros: gorgeous bezel-less screen, excellent sound quality, great physical buttons and knob, strong brand reputation. Cons: potential battery drain landmine, laggy touchscreen, no HD radio, picky USB ports, feature light for the price. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to honestly assess your car and your patience level. If the cons list sounds like a horror story, walk away. There are other fish in the sea. One last joke. How do you know if a head unit installer is an extrovert? They look at your shoes while they're talking to you about your car's ACC wire. All right, we've reached the end. I've laid out the honest problems. No fluff, just the real-world experience. You are now armed with information most buyers don't have until it's too late. If after all this, you've decided the Sony XAV-AX5000 is still the one for you, I truly hope you have a flawless installation. To make sure you get the best possible deal and avoid any price gouging, click the link in the description below. That's where you'll find the current Amazon price. Thanks for watching, and remember, do your research, or your battery will do the dying for you.